everybody. Today we're going to have the first tasting of my Centennial Chinook 60L IPA. Now this is homegrown hops, so wet hops. So you would pick them and before drying you would put them into a beer. Now I just did the 40L version, which I'll link up here if you want to go check that out. So pretty simple grain bill. 2 pounds 4 ounces of raw premium Pilsner malt, then 4 ounces of 60L crystal. For the hop schedule, this is a 1.25 gallon batch going into the carboy, 1 hour boil, 0.25 ounces of Chinook at 60, 0.15 ounces of Centennial at 30, 0.25 ounces of Chinook at 15, 0.5 ounces of Centennial and Chinook at flame out. SO4 yeast was used. This is the first tasting. This was bottled on 9/10, which is about 4 months old. 6.89% ABV. And so for this, because it's wet hopped, I kind of went over this in the 40L version, so I would go back and watch that. But for the main part, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 for wet hops versus pellet. So 4 ounces to 1 ounce of pellet. So 4 ounces wet hopped, 1 ounce of pellet. That's where I would probably start. Then if that doesn't work, I would go to 6-to-1. When I first started homebrewing and growing hops, it was 4-to-1. And now I think midway, maybe in August of 2020 when I started pulling my hops, I looked it up and it was like 6-to-1. So 6 ounces of wet hop per 1 ounce of pellets, which kind of makes sense. You're going to have a lot of water in those hops, so you're going to need a lot more. So let's go ahead and open this, see what we get. I will have a side-by-side of this version and the 40L version. Okay, hiss. I didn't see any smoke. 4 carbonation tablets were used in this. There, I saw some smoke when I started pouring. 12-ounce bottle, which is pretty common. I believe they suggest either for a very light carbonation, it's 3, for medium, it's 4, and for high, it's 5. So I've always put 4, and depending on what beer it is, it's worked out fine. Tannish colored head, small and medium bubbles, about a finger of head. Bubbles on the side are compact like dish soap. Color, more red-orange, and I think we see a pattern. I did the Cara batches, and I had a 40 and a 60L, and now this 40 and 60L. I would say reddish orange, light haziness. I can see the light box. Good carbonation coming up. This glass is etched. It looks a little redder on camera than it does to me, but yeah, good color. Let's go ahead and smell. More caramel maltiness, like a caramel sweet light syrup malt. Maybe a touch of citrus in there. Probably, if anything, probably come from the Centennial. I'm just saying that because in the 40 version I did get in the taste more like spice, and I would think that would come from the Chinook, but it could also be coming from the yeast. Yeah, I would say sweet caramel light syrup malt with just a touch of citrus in there. Let's go ahead and taste. More maltiness, not exactly like sweetness. More maltiness is coming through. Like maybe you use too much malt and it didn't ferment out all the way. But then there's a touch of citrus in there, citrus spice. Very smooth. Drinks more like a double IPA, like a lighter double IPA. Like maybe one where you had enough malt to get it to 7.5, but it fermented a little bit more, maybe up to 8, and took out the sugar from the malts. That's kind of what this is, but I do get some bitterness in the back and the aftertaste. This one seems like a lighter body. It maybe pushing medium, but not quite there. This one feels like the higher ABV. Yeah, 6.3, 6.8. I doubt you're going to be able to tell that. It really, we'll see in the side-by-side, but this one feels like a lighter bodied, like night and day difference. I don't think this one has I can't say that. I like the, in the middle of the palate to the back, I do get more citrus. And that could be a combination between the Centennial and the Chinook, because from both, I do get citrus. And I've made an all Chinook IPA that was very citrusy. And I've made 20 batches with Centennial, which it's citrus, grapefruit, rind bitterness, which I get the rind bitterness in the aftertaste. Not so much the grapefruit, but that could be because of the malts or maybe the spice from the Chinook that's covering that up. It doesn't seem balanced though, like it needs something. Like it's too sweet. But again, it's 4 months old. It needs a little, it's almost like not enough hops were used to give it that bitterness that it needs for the malty backbone that it has. So it needs more hops. But again, it's 4 months old. So those hops are probably going to fade, and because I didn't go 4-1, 6-1, they're probably going to fade out quicker because they're wet hopped. So the malt's going to take over. Excuse me. Yeah, I would have to say it's not balanced. It needs to be balanced, and it's not. It needs double. And double would get it 4-1. Because, like I said in the 40 version, this is 0.5 ounces. So that, in my eyes, is 2-1 because I would use 0.25 ounces of pellet hops. So this is 2-1. If I doubled that and went up to an ounce, that would be 4-1. Probably bringing some more of that hop flavor profile to this beer. So definitely that's what I'm going to have to do next year because everything's dried in the fridge now. But yeah, it works. It's not the best. We can definitely improve, and I will make a note to make this again next year. So if you like this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.